fight's not over.
Stop the fight!
People.
Everybody, I come here for everybody. Kill everybody. I'm the champ. I'm the king. Kill everybody. Ah!
All right, welcome back to Broke Bets for UFC 278. What's up, dude?
What's going on, my man?
Not doing too hot after yesterday. I don't think many people are. But
yeah, it sucked, but we live and we learn.
Yeah, we'll recap the last event at the end here. We'll keep the vibes good for now and not hurt anyone's feelings to start the video or whatever, you know. Let's get into it.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, for the first fight of the night, we have Victor Altamirano versus Daniel da Silva. Who do you think here?
I'm leaning Victor for this one. I think he'll outvolume Daniel and win a decision here.
I think the odds are really stupid on this fight. We're looking at a Victor and a guy who debatably lost his Contender Series fight, and pretty much just won because Candelario was actually trying to go for the finish. And I don't think of Candelario very highly. Is not very impressive to me. He's an okay fighter, but he's just a brawler. Like, it's just like he can eat shots and he'll just keep going forward. He'll clinch, he'll wear on people, but he's not that particularly great. Daniel da Silva, I mean, you remember that Francis Figueiredo fight? How dumb of a decision.
Yeah.
He was on the ground, and he was in like a weird leg position, and instead of just kind of like, you know, slowly working into like half guard or something, he like flipped over and moved himself into a knee bar, and it was just over instantly. He also just got knocked out in that Jeff Molina fight before that. He had a good first round, followed up by getting fucking slept. I mean, I really do think this is a pick'em fight, and if I like thought about picking Da Silva, but with a low fight IQ and maybe not the grit and the second and third round to like keep fighting, I think Victor's the pick here. So
yeah, I think Victor has good enough cardio and will outvolume Da Silva in the later rounds.
Also, those Mexican dudes, they just got like the spirit to like take punches and keep going, and you're gonna see less of that, I think, with Da Silva.
Yep.
Okay, for the next matchup, we have Aoriqileng versus Jay Perrin. Aoriqileng in his last fight moved up to bantamweight, had a good performance, and I see a repeat good performance here. Do you think so as well?
Yeah, I agree. I like him in this one as well. The Joker's never been knocked out before, though, so I don't know if he'd be able to knock him out. But
yeah,
what do you think?
I think Aori was kind of like depleting himself, making 125. I know Jeff Molina's really small, but like he was a lot bigger than Jeff Molina, but kind of just looked really death skinny. In his last fight, he looked, I mean, obviously Cameron Elsa's not like a great opponent, but he worked in some body work even when he knocked him down, just like punched him when he was on his back. And I think I like the competition he's faced. I think there is going to be a knockout here, although it might come a little bit later. I'm going to say round 2. And if you've watched that Jeff Molina Aoriqileng fight, Q-Lang got dropped like 3 times or something in the fight, but he also hurt Jeff Molina real bad at the end of the 3rd round. He has that power still late in the fight. And on Jay Perrin's side, I'm just not really impressed with too much of what he does. He doesn't really have like an aspect of his game that stands out. He can get taken down. He can maybe take people down. His stand-up is like one-punch stand-up, which means like low volume, throws one punch at a time, and I think he's just me working from behind in this fight. But yeah, I just see Aoriqileng KO. I'm also going to straight bet him here. Do you like that?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay, for the next fight, we have Amir Albazi versus Francisco Figueiredo. What are your thoughts of Francisco?
I think he's the lesser version of Figueiredo, his brother, Davison. And, I mean, I think he got pretty lucky in his last fight, and I don't think he's that good.
He fights like Francisco fights like Davison if Davison had no confidence. That's how I see his fights. Like, he doesn't, like, Davison, like, gloats and, like, brags during fights and shit. But, I like Albazi. I know he's a big favorite. I got him in a bet parlay already as well. Obviously, one red flag is the layoff time. It's like a year and a half last time he fought. But Zhalgas Zhumagulov is like a hard fight for a lot of flyweights out there. Like, he's not amazing, but he'll also like brawl with you. And also, MMA math. Malcolm Gordon lost for Francisco. Malcolm Gordon's not good. Not good at all. I expect Amir to actually find a knockout here, believe it or not. And didn't you say that Francisco's never been knocked out before?
Yeah, he's never been knocked out. All of his losses are decision.
I'm taking Albazi by around 3 KO, and I'll explain it here. Francisco kind of looks sometimes a little bit, I would say a little bit winded and slow on the feet. And if you've watched that Zhumagulov fight, Amir is really in and out of range fast. Like, if you watched Azamat last night with his fight against Devin Clark, in and out of range, pumps one hand, hits him with the other. I mean, just like never knows the timing. And Amir's really good at that. And if he needs to take the fight to the ground, I think he has the better BJJ here, the better wrestling, and he's got a great 3-round cardio. If Francisco wins this fight, it's either by a crazy submission. Pretty much that's the only way I see it going down. I don't see him winning the rounds.
I don't see that either.
Yeah, give me Albazi by a finish of some sort, but I'm thinking knockout when he keeps that pace on him in the 3rd round. Okay, for the next fight of the night, there's AJ Fletcher versus Ange Loosa. What do you think of this matchup?
Yeah, I like this matchup. It's going to be a good scrap. And with the odds close like this, I'm probably going to lean to the underdog here in Loosa.
Plus money. Yeah, if the record might confuse you about Loosa, dude, but he's actually got some really good talent. He lacks some attributes, I think, which is just like I'd say like pouring it on someone in certain moments. He's really got good cardio. He's got good enough grappling. He took down Jack Della Maddalena a couple times. Munir Laziz in his last fight was like way bigger than him. I think both of these guys they're kind of more suited for like a 165 weight class than a 170 weight class. But Laziz was a lot bigger than him. And he ate all the strikes. I mean, against Jack too. I don't know how many significant strikes Jack put on him, but it was a crazy number. And he just kept coming. And I think he put like 50 on Jack in a single round in the 3rd round. I really like his game. He's got a massive reach advantage here. You're looking at 74 inches versus 67. I don't know. He really impresses me, even in his losses. That's what I really look for when I watch film. I like to see like a solid win. And I like to see how they lose. And in Losa's ones, he's not like getting picked apart and not doing anything back. On AJ's Fletcher's side, you're looking at the Dustin Poirier's prospect or what, I don't know, teammate, some shit like that. And he's got really short arms. I said he's like not really suited for this weight class. I don't think he's really muscular, but he wasn't a high school wrestler, but he likes to use his wrestling in the octagon. He's actually pretty good at the takedowns and stuff. But when you looked at the size of Loosa, I think in this matchup, just maybe a little bit bigger, I think he's gonna be able to have that get up game. He had some good scrambles with Jack Della Maddalena as well. And I just liked him down the stretch here. I'm thinking decision. I really think we could see a knockout as well, but I have a bet in on Loosa. I really think this guy's really good and being underestimated just because he's had some high-level losses. But this is me one of the better fights of the night. Should be, honestly, a little bit higher up on the card, but it's just because not too many people know these guys yet. And, yeah, Loosa by decision. Okay, for the next fight, we have Miranda Maverick versus Shana Young. Obviously, I think you have to pick Miranda Maverick here, but Shana Young, I guess, kind of had the upset with Gina Mazzani, but Gina Mazzani ain't shit, you know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Miranda should take this fight to the mat and should control the fight there for all 3 rounds.
Yeah, I think she's actually got some decent offensive wrestling, but her defensive wrestling, questionable. She couldn't handle the Erin Blanchfield trips, which is like common WMMA stuff. But I kind of... Are you like big on Miranda Maverick? Are you one of these guys? Like, there's some people that are like all about that. They think she's like the future champ and all this shit.
No.
I mean, like, even with her Macy Barber fight, like, she definitely won, but like, she doesn't really show too many like amazing attributes. I think she's just really buff. That's like why people think she's good, you know. And I've told you this before, but she looks like that Robbie kid from the what's it fucking called? The Karate Kid TV show, Cobra Kai.
Cobra Kai.
She looks like the Robbie kid in that, but give me Miranda by decision. I think she's going to be ahead in the stand-up, and I think she can use her offensive wrestling to take down Shana Young. And you're going to see that water balloon on Shana Young's like gut. She like blows out her stomach a lot during the fights. Watch for that. It'll be entertaining.
They also fought in an exhibition match in 2019.
Let me guess, Miranda.
Yeah, she won by rear naked choke in the first round.
All right, we're doing rear naked.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think Shayna's really going to win this, but it's women's MMA. You never know.
Yeah, I thought Lucie was going to win no matter what yesterday, but
she
fight decided
IQ.
Not to wrestle.
Low fight IQ.
Yeah.
Okay, for the next fight, we have Sean Woodson versus Luis Saldana. Sticking with the favorite again here. You like Woodson here too?
Yes, I do.
Saldana's game is rudimentary, I guess you could say. It's like he faced Bruno Souza, who's also not that great, and they kind of just went to a striking match, and it looked like Bruno just got tired in the 3rd round, and Saldana just had more in the tank. He doesn't really have any great attributes. He kind of just has okay stand-up, but Sean Woodson's also known for his stand-up and volume. This dude throws so many strikes. This is probably a good place for a Trailer Park Boys joke, but like he looks like Trevor from Trailer Park Boys. He looks like a goddamn alien. He's tall, skinny, has a big head, skeleton fingers, and he's really bony. So like if he throws elbows and knees, he just like pierces people with them. He's got a knockout over T-Rex, flying knee. He's got a really big head. It's going to be hard to knock him out. And obviously the volume, like I'm saying, going to a decision. But I think he's going to make Luis Saldana break here. And I think there's going to be a knockout. I'm going to say round 2. You like that number?
I like it. Yeah, I like it.
And I got him in one of my parlays here. I have like mixed thoughts. I think some people think that he's like a up-and-comer. But I don't really see him as a belt contender because his striking can be slow at times, but he actually has some decent timing.
Yeah, he also has a 6-inch reach advantage, so he should be taking advantage of that.
Yeah, he should take full advantage. But yeah, I don't know. He kind of throws hooks like Muhammad Ali did back in the day, which is like elbows close to your torso, and you throw your fists like left and right really fast. I don't know. We'll take Sean Woodson by KO, though. Should be the better fighter all around here. And he's got an interesting style that makes it kind of fun. Makes it pretty fun to watch because he's got a lot of volume and he hits people a lot. So, Sean Woodson KO round 2. Okay, for the next fight, we have the people's main event. We have Lucie Pudilova versus Yanan Wu. Yeah, I mean, we'll keep this one short. Pudilova likes to stand up and doesn't have high volume. Yanan likes to stand up, has high volume,
And
but misses almost all of her strikes. And this is my over 2.5 rounds play of the day, because they just are decision machines, these girls. And also, Lucie used to be in the UFC, and she got a bunch of grapplers she fought, and she lost all of them. Yanan Wu does nothing special either. Just give me Lucie by decision. There's nothing interesting here. You have any more thoughts?
Most of Yanan Wu's regional wins are by finish, so.
Oh, wow, in China, nice.
Yeah.
All I can say is get your popcorn for this one, folks, and enjoy the show. Okay, for the next fight, we have Jared Gordon versus Leonardo Santos. And I'm feeling risky. I'm not going to bet it, but we're going to pick Leonardo Santos here. I mean, it's a lot of the stats say that he shouldn't win this fight. He's 42 years old, over 42 years old, and Jared Gordon's like almost 34 years old. There's a huge age difference. But there's some things I'm thinking about in this fight that just don't add up for Jared Gordon, I think. What are your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I mean, Leonardo Santos has good power. He lost to Clay Guida in his last fight, but he hurt him bad.
He needed him.
And just couldn't get the finish and tired himself out. And then Guida eventually got the rear naked choke. And Jared Gordon's been knocked out
3 times.
3 times
in the UFC.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, I like Jared Gordon. We actually watched him live a couple of years ago. I mean, he doesn't have like good power, but his wrestling is really good and his cardio is really good. He's also in this weird weight where I think he's really short for the division, and he's kind of like not a fully natural lightweight, but he's also too big for featherweight, so he's kind of caught in this weird range right now. But man, the problem Leonardo Santos has is adrenaline dumps. In Clay Guida fight, he adrenaline dumped and tried to finish him, and he didn't get the finish. Grant Dawson won, he just got finished at the end of the fight. Roman Bogotov, that fight, he slept the dude on the feet, pretty much, and then he adrenaline dumped, lost all his energy, and didn't get the finish, but still went to the decision there. I mean, he knocked out Stevie Ray a while ago. This dude has really good 1-2 down the middle power, and Jared Gordon does not have stand-up power. I could see Jared Gordon laying on top of him in his guard, but Leonardo Santos is like a BJJ world champion or something. It's something crazy with BJJ. He doesn't use it as well in MMA, but I think he's more stand-up that's going to stand out here. As you can see here, the 75-inch reach versus 68. And for those straight punches that come down the middle, Santos has a good chance of just sleeping Gordon, I think. I'm thinking KO round 1 while this guy's still fresh. I know it's probably not all the stats say that Gordon should win this fight, but if there's a way he's going to lose, it's probably by knockout, and it's probably going to happen early. Any other thoughts?
And Gordon's been in his knockouts. Both 2 of them were in the first round.
I mean, that right hand is really down the middle. It's old man strength. It's coming. I think it's going to happen. And I think the odds are a little wild for this one. But, yeah, for round 1. KO round 1. Okay, for the next fight, we have Tyson Pedro versus a guy that shouldn't be in the UFC, Harry Hunsucker. This one's pretty obvious, right, folks? I'm thinking knockout. He could also submit people. He's a submission guy. What are your thoughts on these fellas?
Yeah, I mean, Harry lost his Contender Series fight against Jared Vandera. I mean, think that's all that needs to be said there.
He also lost to Don'Tale Mays in like his second pro fight, and he looked god awful. He is coming down a weight class here, though. He used to be a heavyweight, and he was a really big heavyweight, and now he's going to be coming down to light heavyweight. He's been knocked out in his recent fights, facing the Samoan. I don't know if you'd call New Zealand boys Samoan. I don't know if that's the same, right? But anyway,
Probably not.
Anyway, he's been beaten before. That record says it all. I wouldn't say Tyson Pedro is the most trustworthy, but he still has some good attributes. And for that reason, sticking with Tyson Pedro, we got a new can crusher in the division, and they'll just keep on feeding him cans. Maybe he'll fight like Martin Buday next. I don't know. Martin Buday looked like shit. We'll get to that. Okay, for the next fight, we have Marcin Tybura versus Alexander Romanov. A lot of people have high hopes for Romanov, King Kong. You like him here, right?
Yeah, I got a bet in on him earlier last week, and yeah, I like him to get a finish here in probably round 2, I'd say.
Yeah, I think Tyruba's got like enough probably to withstand the first round. Romanov's recent weight loss, I actually like sometimes when people in the heavyweight division are lighter like this, they struggle. But this dude fucking suplexed Chase Sherman like 4 times and still looks super fresh. When he was at his like 265 pound mark, he was, I wouldn't say getting like extremely tired, but like he would put a pace on somebody and he looked kind of exhausted after that. I think he's gonna have way better cardio in these fights. And in Tybura, this is a guy that's actually, I'd say he's been knocked out before, but he's kind of hard to put away. Like he has some comeback wins against like you've seen Greg Hardy, who obviously isn't the most credible opponent, but he also put on a show with Romanov or Volkov a while ago, where I think Volkov more was affected by the heat in that fight and he lost his cardio. But Tyruba's, I wouldn't say he's like a super live dog here, but I think this might be like the first time we see Romanov tested. And,
yeah, I agree.
And like
Romanov, Tybura did beat Sergey Spivak in 2020.
Give me a quick stat and see how many times Romanov's won by first round knockout. Like, I don't know how many times he's gone into the second or second or whatever rounds.
He went to the second round with Vandera. Decision win.
Because like almost all of his UFC
most of them are round 1.
He just hasn't faced much adversity, and like I feel like this might be the first one where he, like Tybura gets up a couple times and he might show wear and tear, but other than that, I mean his last fight, I think he looked better than ever. I know Sherman's nothing to brag about, but I think Tybura here, he'll get thrown around, and like you're saying, ground and pound round 2. So
yeah, I like that.
okay, for the next fight, we have Jose Aldo versus Merab Dvalishvili. Man, I want to see Aldo back in Brazil. They really need to do another Brazil card here before this guy's done. But
yeah, and I think they want him to win this so they can put him on the next Brazil card.
They need him, Charlie Olives. They need to stack some shit up. But man, this is a really close matchup, and it's kind of just that original striker wrestler fight. And I'm thinking Aldo, just because of the experience. I mean, if you're looking at Merab's last couple fights, Marlon's on a horrible run, has also the worst gas tank in the bantamweight division. Stamen has gotten taken down and held down before. And John Dodson defended like 20 of Merab's takedowns. It's not like the most competitive run here. And what do you like about Aldo?
Yeah, I like his leg kicks, and I like that he works the body of his opponents too. And I think he can be able to hit the body and wear out Merab, because you saw in yesterday when Abzad or whatever his name is, Murkanov.
Azamat versus Devin.
Yeah, Yeah, you see them body shots wear on your opponent bad.
And Aldo's also got like a nasty sprawl. Like his takedown defense is really good in the first 2 or 3 rounds. And that's where Merab probably is going to be, he's going to be searching for those takedowns, and he may just wear on Aldo until he can get those takedowns. But he's also got to walk in the area, like if you said, those body shots, the power hooks, like he was putting it on Rob Font. In Merab, when he got pieced up by Marlon, it was a left hook that dropped him, and Keith Peterson let it go on. I mean, it could have been stopped, but obviously Merab is going to lose down the stretch, and he got the life beat out of him again. But Aldo here, I mean, other than Petr Yan, where he got taken down in the late rounds, again, that was in the late rounds, he just shelled up and got beat down. I really liked Aldo down the stretch here. I don't think I can bet him, because I think this is going to be a really close one. In terms of the way it plays out, I am not sure if Aldo can defend takedowns for 5 rounds and still win a decision, because I think Merab will have the pressure. But Aldo will have that power in the early rounds. I mean, if you're thinking body shots, then we could also say he crumples him with a body shot. I mean, what's your thoughts here for a finish?
I was leaning towards a decision, but if it was a finish, I do like the body shots.
Round 3?
Yeah.
I just really think it's gonna have to end with a finish for one guy or the. I mean, Aldo can go into the late rounds, but he won't be attacking anymore when it's, I think, rounds 4 and 5. So maybe he does win the first 3 and then survives the last 2. But he's also shelled up against Petr Yan. Maybe you're right, but we'll take another pay-per-view knockout. We picked a lot of knockouts, I think, so far. We'll keep them coming.
It's a 3-round fight. So.
Oh shit! Right. Oh man, it feels like a championship fight for some reason. Oh man, that makes sense. Why you're saying decision? Shit.
Yeah, dude, I don't know.
All right,
what you're saying here.
Yeah, we'll go decision. I was thinking this was a 5-round fight for some reason. It feels like a main event. That's why. Like it's that caliber of a fight. All right, yeah. Aldo by decision makes sense then. Okay. Okay, for the next fight we have Paulo Costa versus Luke Rockhold. I think there's only one way this one could play out. What do you think that one is?
Yeah, I like Paulo Costa knockout round 1.
The shape that he's in tells me that he's going to make weight and feel good for this fight. And he's
he does look in really good shape right now.
And I think he's going to take the fight to Luke like he did to Romero in this one. I think we're going to see the normal version of Paulo here. And in that Marvin Vettori fight that he was in, obviously where he was way overweight, he still had some crazy strikes on Marvin that he just ate. Like he has a really good right leg head kick, and he hit Marvin with it 2 or 3 times, and Marvin was unfazed. So, but Luke, on the other hand, everyone knows this dude's chin, and the last knockout, obviously against Polish Power, but he's also coming in and facing probably the worst opponent he could have in the middleweight division, one of the hardest hitters. I mean, what do you think he gets it done with? Left hook? He has a clean left hook.
Yeah, and Rockhold hasn't fought in 3 years, and him going down in weight.
Yeah, it's not looking good
from his last fight. Yeah, I don't know.
And I mean, even in Luke Rockhold in his prime was like a little overrated. I mean, there's a free fight right now. Free fight right now of Chris Weidman versus him, and if you watch that fight, I mean, Luke doesn't even look that great in it. It's just that Chris Weidman doesn't even look good at all. And like Luke's main attribute is just that left kick, that body and head kick, and the crazy kicks he can do. His hands really aren't good. I mean, if he wants to win this fight, I think he has to sleep Paulo or find a submission, because he can sometimes pull a submission on the ground. But it's going to be a hard one to come back after 3 years and face this strong of a dude. And Romero also had like some takedown moments on Paulo, and he still couldn't like hold him down. So
yeah, Paulo got up reasonably quick from all those.
I mean, yeah, I'm excited to watch this one happen, just because should be a fun knockout, or there should be a finish. But
Paulo Costa is probably one of my favorite fighters. He's entertaining.
He's not like a respectful fighter, like not making weight and doing all these dumb things that you shouldn't do, but like being funny being like a troll on Twitter and like weird shit you don't expect from a guy like him. It makes him more likable for some reason.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yeah, Paulo KO round 1, clean left hook, sleeps Rockhold. Okay, for the main event, we have Kamaru Usman versus Leon Edwards. Initial thoughts, let's not make a pick yet. Let's talk about it a little bit. What's your initial thoughts just about both guys?
Initial thoughts is that Usman lost his last fight against Covington.
I rewatched it.
It was a draw. At worst, it was a draw.
Nah, I rewatched. I thought Kamaru won in the end. Unbiased.
Watching it live, unbiased.
I was biased live, and I thought that Colby won, and I rewatched, and I thought Kamaru won.
You must not been watching the same fight. Coming off of a broken hand, I mean, you don't know how good he'll look in the striking department. You know his wrestling's always going to be there.
He also hasn't used his wrestling since the Tyron Woodley fight, right?
That's true, but he used it a little bit in the Covington last fight. He took Covington down once or twice, but just like took him down to make sure like he knew he could still go to the wrestling, you know?
Yeah.
To have him a little more timid.
He didn't even take Masvidal down that much 2 years ago when they had their first super boring fight, when Masvidal was on short notice.
Right.
That's another thing. But yeah, I don't know. Kamaru got hurt in that last fight against Colby too, and Colby's got like pillow hands. Like Colby stunned him in the end of round 4, and sometime in round 3 as well, he strung together like 5 punches that made Kamaru a little off balance.
And at the end of round 4, he kind of wobbled him there.
Like it's hard to justify pitching against Kamaru Usman because his younger brother is like his like steroid tester boy. Like he like tests everything, and then they're like, oh, it worked for Muhammad, so let's try it on Kamaru. So
it's hard to pick against a guy who's on roids, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's a decent chance he's got the track marks, he's got the acne, he's got the blown up head, he's got a lot of stuff going on, and the endless gas tank for the amount of muscle the dude's got. But Leon, man, he's really intelligent, and this dude's got some of the worst string of fights that's ever like cancellations. I don't know, it's like 7 canceled fights in the span of 2 or 3 years.
He was the only guy, one of the only guys to fight or picking a fight against Hamzat. No one wanted to fight Hamzat.
Yeah, when he was in the most killer, like when Hamzat was in the most killer mode. And, you know, the Nate Diaz fight's not super impressive, but I think that was like a tactical approach from Edwards, is that people that try to pour it on Nate Diaz, that turns out that they put too much energy into him, and then they come back. Nate Diaz comes back, and he finishes them. So, like, for 4 rounds, Edwards was piecing him apart. No problem. Then, like you told me earlier, you know, he got comfortable in round 5, and then he got caught.
Yeah.
The scary thing is Usman hit Edwards, or like his strikes are straight, and that strike that Nate hit him with was just straight down the middle.
Yeah, it was like Diaz hitting Edwards was like the same combination that Kamaru knocked out Masvidal.
Yeah, exactly. Just a different hand.
Yeah.
And Leon's hand speed's really impressive, But I think if he wants to win exchanges with Kamaru, he's got to do 4-strike combinations. It's got to be like, or 3. It's got to be more than just a jab, because Kamaru's style is just jab, jab, jab right hand, jab. And he's really fucking good at it. He's really good at holding that range. Something else that Leon does really well is his lead leg kick on people. And Kamaru hasn't faced a lead leg kicker in however many fights. I mean, there was in Jorge, but Jorge had to be scared of the takedowns all the time, so he didn't really get the chance to put them on him. And in Leon, I think he's got a chance here. I think we think he's got a chance to win this fight.
I don't agree with the odds at all.
It's the same thing as the Colby fight. They love Kamaru. How close was that fucking Colby fight? Like, it was real close. The odds were way off. And the truth is, you know, like, he has shown times of, like, almost getting beaten. I mean, obviously, Gilbert didn't have him in too much trouble, but Gilbert launched a big right hand on him early in the fight. It almost could have slept most fighters. But, like, do you think Edwards gets this done by decision or knockout or what?
I really don't see Edwards knocking him out. I mean, his last knockout was last second of his fight in 2018. But
okay, we can go decision.
I think Edwards can piece him up though, from range and also in tight with his elbows. He's got really nice elbows.
Yeah, I really liked about Edwards is he said something in an interview that was really smart. If you watch their first fight, it's crazy because Kamaru's a completely different fighter from what he initially was.
Yeah, he was so takedown heavy, and
he would sprint across the octagon to like take him down. And Leon in that fight talked about how all he did was focus on takedown defense. That's what he went into his camp. That's all they drilled. And he did a pretty decent job. He got on the ground for a little bit, but he talked about this time getting his offense going, and that he's thinking about beating down Kamaru more than like defending himself. So that's something where I'm thinking that's where he's going to pull out like the 3 straight combinations and find a finish maybe. But I mean, if we're talking about 3 rounds, Leon can take 3 rounds. He can easily take 3 rounds in my eyes. Could Kamaru take all 5? Maybe, but it's just me clinch strikes. And I'm really open-minded to how this fight could play out. There's a lot of different ways. Kamaru could throw straight punches that knock out Edwards. Edwards could throw slip hooks that knock out Kamaru. There's a lot of outcomes that could happen, I think. But I think there's value in this underdog. I don't feel like betting it. Do you feel like you're going to bet anything on this fight?
No, I'm not going to bet. Maybe I'll bet over, an alternate over. But,
2.5 or something.
Yeah, but picking a winner, no, not really. And even if in my eyes, if Leon wins 3 out of the 5 rounds, I still think the judges will have a pre-written scorecard of 3-2 or 4-1 Usman, no matter what.
Yeah,
so.
and there's always the thing, it's like, if somebody's going to have control time, it's going to be Kamaru, but yet, like, Leon might outstrike him. It's really tough to know, but yeah, I'm thinking this fight is totally worth taking a stab at Leon. The only thing he's missing, man, is just that high-level experience. But again, all the canceled bouts and stuff like that, like it's stuff he can't even handle. So they're pushing him to this fight, and I mean, if we see and new, I mean, people are gonna go ballistic. This would be a really cool fight if it is, but yeah, I'm excited for it. Anything else on this?
And Edwards did have good takedown defense against Bilal, so.
He's had good takedown defense through his career. It should be better. He's in his prime age right now, 30, you know? So
yeah. And Usman's been talking about retirement. He's 35.
He's been talking about fighting Jan Blachowicz. What are you talking about? Or like challenging for the light heavyweight title or something. Like, what are you talking about? So mindset, mentality. I mean, I think Leon's just he's set to win this fight right now. We've been talking about this fight for a long ass time, but I think this matchup is really fucking cool. So, yeah, Leon decision. I could see a knockout, but enjoy the show. Alright, time for the salty time, boys. Here's where we talk about the bad bets from last week and the crazy last night of fights. You ready to jump into this shit?
Yep.
Alright. It'd be kind of fun to trash some of these fights, but okay. Worst night so far in our history of the betting. Zalal did not cash. Totally the better fighter. Put a 10-8 on him in the round 3. Debatably could have finished him, but Herb kind of wanted to see that go the distance. He had money on it going the distance. And then Zalal, he was trying to grapple too much when he was clearly the better stand-up fighter, and he just didn't trust himself. Another young mistake, I guess, and it ate everyone's money. I missed the Landwehr live bet. I saw it at 435 or something, and he was on his way. Like he was like on the ground, almost KO'd. He got up, and he was striking Onama on the fence again, and I saw the 435 open up, but then Onama smacked him like as soon as I saw that, and he was on like the ropes again. And then I didn't pull the trigger, and then it opened up again the next round at like minus 450 for Landwehr or something crazy. So I lost. That fight was crazy. I lost the timing on that, but yeah, that was an awesome fight. Next the train. But anyway, Silva looked awful. He looked like he ate McDonald's and drank a quart of liquor before he came into the octagon. I don't even know what to think. I've never seen a fighter look so much worse. And like the question is Alex Pereira even good after that performance? I don't know. Something was wrong going
Bruno refused to throw a jab or straight and was swinging like a spastic. And yeah, I've never seen him fight like that before.
He was exhausted after the first round, and the output in round 1 was very low as well. Azamat fucking destroyed Devin Clark. He was like about the only high IQ trustworthy person on this card. Boudet lost. Didn't use his weight advantage, and didn't look good.
And when they robbed him that decision, I was like so happy. I was so confident in Silva.
And then he just loses right
now. And then
oh my god. And then Quinlan, easy KO, not surprising. Ode, low IQ again. He's just piecing up Nam from range, and then just doesn't need a flying knee, goes for it and gets killed. Another parlay leg thrown away.
I think DC jinxed it by saying Ode is winning. He was winning, but it was 2 minutes into the fight.
I don't know. He was definitely smacking him up, but it was too high pace. But Vera, obviously an awesome result. I'm not even surprised anymore when he has a crazy finish, because like he's just throwing these heavy strikes, countering people, and it's just like, dude, Cheeto's just the man. He's one of my favorites fighters. Fucking
yeah, for sure.
And he deserves a title shot, man. I don't even care who else is in the division. We need to watch him kill Aljo or Dillashaw. It needs to happen.
We need him to stay in 5-round fights.
Yeah.
I don't like his chances in a 3-round fight versus like O'Malley or
where
Peter Yan.
He'd still beat O'Malley, I think, because O'Malley he's just not a good nail. He doesn't take a punch well.
I don't know. O'Malley was winning the first round in that fight.
He lost. He got lead kicked. I'm one of those guys.
Yeah. Until that.
But Quinlan, he found that knockout, like I said. Ode by points, obviously missed. This girl, Yasmin, I still thought she had a great performance, and she threw a lot of punches that could have knocked like any chick out. Like there was like 10 clean punches on the chin that just didn't sleep the other girl, and honestly both girls seem pretty good. Again, won't straight bet these chicks, and we're going to be done for the method of victories for a while. I did some math, and they don't add up very well, let's just say. stay away from that. But to end it, Yusuf Zalal, that fight went to decision. And the Bruno, again, just how things were so unpredictable. That one didn't go under 1.5. We missed there. So if you won on this card, congratulations. The only things that went well for me yesterday were underdog fantasy picks. I did pretty well on those, but other than that, not too hot. Yeah, check out the Instagram. Anything else from you, dude?
No.
Like, subscribe, comment, I don't know. Check out the Instagram, and peace.
Peace.